His publicists are really going to love this, but Matt Damon really is the sort of bloke who gives Hollywood a good name. He was here this past week to promote his latest movie, The Bourne Supremacy, but in the event, what he promoted most was his own reputation as an all-round good guy. He's famous for movies like Good Will Hunting and The Talented Mr Ripley, and, I have to say, for being nice. And in an industry full of men and women behaving badly, Mr Damon is sadly something of a rarity. So perhaps it was not surprising he charmed the pants off the local media, this crusty old reporter included. By definition, stars are out of reach. They twinkle remotely from another constellation. They are mysterious and unknowable, and in fact nothing like the nice, obliging, down-to-earth Matt Damon, who redefines all our notions of fame. You love the work. Do you love the fame?
No. That's the kind of the drawback.
Is that the downside?
Yeah, I mean, but as downsides go, it's not that bad. You know, you get good seats in restaurants, and people kind of kiss your ass, so it's not that.
Yeah, that's all right. I haven't experienced that.
The loss of anonymity is what's a pain. You don't really realize how great anonymity is until you lose it.
He copes by being nice.
Happy birthday to my friend, please.
Oh,
Happy
you
birthday
legend.
to my friend Rachel, she's 19.
Rachel, what are you doing?
So nice that he even took time on the red carpet this week to make a birthday call to the unknown friend of an unknown fan. Not only time for fans, but time for early morning DJs.
My heavens, Jason Bourne's one serious little insect. And I wonder
And
if at any
still at
point,
it, late at night.
Today we'll meet tomorrow.
I read, I don't know your figures this time round, but last time you were here, you did 101 interviews in 4.5 days.
Exactly, which is exactly a quarter of what I normally do. I mean, I've done as many as 94 interviews in a day in America.
My fear would be being interviewer number 102.
Well, you'd want to be, if it were me, I'd rather be number 1 or number 102, better than, 56.
When fame enters a room, everything changes. Even at an exclusive cocktail party, the temperature drops. But Matt works the room and everyone warms to his role as the ordinary bloke. The party plays so well, it mightn't even be an act.
Does everyone ask you about the Olympics?
What's it? No, not a lot, actually. I don't even know what the hell's going on in the Olympics. I haven't been.
So you try to draw the cloak of an ordinary life around you to maintain your
Yeah, I mean, I
mystery
think,
it is.
I think it's more of kind of a hiding in plain sight.
Hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, you go out and you do the interviews and you're
It's a nice expression.
perfectly personable and polite, but you don't really give up,
So as an actor, I mean, to learn your trade or the ongoing learning of your trade is to move among people and observe them. But you can't do that, can you? Because you
Right.
change them by virtue of being there.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's the big drawback. That's why you see people's work kind of fall off the longer they're famous. It's really hard to try to, I mean, you have to be vigilant in trying to find ways to keep observing people. But because if you're walking into a room and everyone's behavior is changing, you're never going to be able to see people behaving as they do, in the wild, as it were.
Matt Damon is Jason Bourne.
We're here to promote a movie too, aren't we?
Yeah, we don't have to talk about the movie.
No, well, I better ask you something about the movie. The car chase. I had
Yeah.
the misfortune to sit too close to the screen.
Oh, that's a problem, yeah.
But
Definitely.
you appeared to me to be in that car, and I, of course, working in television, I was trying to work out how you did it.
They had a steering wheel and a seat put on the roof of the car that I was in, with a professional driver who sat on the roof of the car, and they had a stunt driver in the other car, and they had my steering wheel disconnected, and a camera operator was sitting to my right, and we just took off at 100K and went through this.
So you're just along for this rough ride.
Yeah, and slammed into each other, and
You must trust those guys.
Oh yeah, implicitly, they're great.
The movie is a spy thriller, The Bourne Supremacy, from the Robert Ludlum bestseller. Matt plays Jason Bourne, a disaffected CIA assassin with amnesia.
Hurry!
You're blown.
But forget the unlikely plot. It's been a huge success overseas and is expecting a long run here. And you sprint and you run a lot.
I do a lot of running.
Are you a great runner?
No, I'm not a great runner. I actually saw some of the playback and slightly altered the way that I ran.
Oh, really?
Because I looked a little goofy. When I ride the subway in New York, if I hear the train coming, and I'm coming down the stairs, I go, you know what, there's going to be another one. I kind of walk down.
Daisy. Teresa.
Even if you saw the movie Mystic Pizza back in 1988 with Julia Roberts, you might have missed Matt Damon. The 17-year-old high school student had just one line, but a line he's never forgotten.
The line was, "Mom, do you want my green stuff?" Because we were sitting around eating lobster in the scene, and that was my one line.
Mom, do you want my green stuff?
Sometimes it's one line, like Tony Curtis was a telegraph boy.
Right.
One line, and you discovered.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't the case with me. I mean, it was another 10 years before my big break.
Stop rushing me back! Stop crowding the plane!
The film was Good Will Hunting, in which he co-starred with his best mate, Ben Affleck.
You're gonna get charged, you know that. You think I'm afraid of you?
They wrote it together and won an Oscar for Best Screenplay.
And the Oscar goes to Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
He was on a roll.
Who's that?
It's Tom Ripley.
Next came the part of the bisexual, murderous but charming conman in the Talented Mr Ripley.
Did we know each other?
Hello. Well, I knew you, so I
It was a great film and a courageous role, hinting perhaps at behind the smile there's a steely, talented actor making brave choices.
Coincidence.
To play a character with, whose sexuality was in question, who was, who was doing the things he was doing for the reasons he was doing them, which, weren't kind of cut and dried, kind of Hollywood, easy to follow reasons. It's a complicated story. I just knew it was a once in a lifetime. It felt like a once in a lifetime kind of role.
Whoa. Check this out.
Then, from completely outside the square, came the comedy Stuck on You, directed by the celebrated and very off-the-wall Farrelly brothers, who wooed him over a beer at Matt's place.
It tastes ice cream. You got a dot in your head, you dumb shit.
So we're sitting there, and Pete Farrelly says to me, "Hey, can I use your bathroom?" And I say, "Sure, it's right, it's right down the hall there." So I'm sitting there talking to Bobby, and a minute later he comes out and he's soaking wet, absolutely naked except for a towel around his waist, with shampoo in his hair. And he walks out and he goes, "You got any conditioner?" So that was kind of.
I got to make this
Yeah,
movie.
I said I got to work with these guys.
Stop it! She's smiling at you. If she wanted to talk to somebody, she would have brought a friend. Hi, how are you? My name's Bob Tenner, but I'm really more of a baritone.
In matters of real-life romance, Matt used to date famously, the likes of Minnie Driver, a one-time co-star.
You're afraid of me, you're afraid that I won't love you back. You know what? I'm afraid too.
And later, there was Winona Ryder. Can I talk about girls?
Yeah, sure.
You don't have a high-profile girlfriend anymore.
Right.
What did you learn from dating the famous?
From my own experience and from watching what happens to other people, it just looks like the fame component, which is not the part that I like, is magnified kind of exponentially if you have two people who are both celebrities. Yeah. For me now, it would be very, I can't see a world in which I'd date a celebrity again, just because I don't want to be, it's just not worth it, it's just not worth it. I don't want that attention.
Enjoy the movie.
Now there is the lovely but totally unknown Florida bartender, Luciana Barroso, whose only celebrity comes from being at his side. Where did you meet Luciana?
Off the set in Miami.
Right.
Yeah.
and she stays well back from the fame game.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody who gets close enough to it, you know, to see it for what it really is, you know, any normal person goes, oh my God, and they stay away from it.
There's scarcely a scandal in his life. Virtually the only pitfall was early in his career when the American media reported that he'd announced his breakup with Minnie Driver on Oprah before he told Minnie about it. The Oprah story, breaking up with Minnie Driver and
total horseshit. Yeah,
before Minnie knew about it.
Yeah, no, complete. Which actually, you know, she acknowledged, I think, at some point in an interview, like, you know, that wasn't true. I mean, we'd broken up 3 weeks before that. But it's a story that, I mean, 6 years and 3 relationships later, is you know, still there.
So it's official. It didn't happen.
No, it did not happen.
Until now, Matt Damon has skillfully avoided media controversy. But with the looming American election, like his mate Ben Affleck, he's wading in on Senator John Kerry's side, questioning why America went to war in Iraq.
I mean, America right now is like a 49% nation. You know, we're really, really divided. You know, and I don't know if that's the case with Australia. The Australians I've met don't all seem to be, you know, leading the charge to kind of be over there. I think they, you know, they feel like a lot of Americans do, like we went in there on, you know, with some bad information. And someone should be accountable for that. I don't understand why. You know, if this were a movie, you know, shoot, someone would have lost their job by now. I don't understand why, you know, why government officials are held to some different standard.
In his media blitz of Australia this week, Matt Damon left everyone smiling in his way.
And I wanted to come back and, without going in too much into detail about my personal life, I brought a bunch of people with me this time because I wanted to show them Australia too.
No tantrums, no paparazzi punch-ups. Here was an actor who wasn't carried away with himself, a star who can tell the difference between Hollywood and reality.
Just watching this boxing match and the way the guys were walking into the ring. And
but Sonny, you're a movie star, but you're also one of those movie stars who actually can act. I look at some of the roles that you play, and they're pretty elliptical sometimes, aren't they? You played an angel of death, the genius con man murderer, the troubled mathematical whiz kid, an assassin, and a conjoined twin. There's just a handful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting spread, isn't it? Where's it coming from?
Hopefully not from a place that can be defined, because if it can, then...
yeah, there's trouble.
Yeah, then there's trouble. I want to hopefully just stay one step ahead of being pigeonholed, so, you know, and being forced to play the same guy over and over again. So far I've been able to do that.
How have you managed to get so old ahead on such young shoulders?
Oh, thanks. You know,
you're only not even in mid-30s yet, are you?
Yeah, I don't think I'm that. I wouldn't call myself that wise. I mean, I'm still figuring it out.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes, segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.